Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
Welcome back to another episode of Wrath and Story. I am the Imperial Scribe of this vessel, the Flexible Demeanor, and it is my pleasure to document the many adventures of J. Jones, Andrew Tickinger, and their servo-skull companion, Daniel Fernandez. When you last left them, our boys were wrongfully imprisoned and held for trial thanks to the mischievous cunning of Magnifico. Framed and behind bars, Jay and Andrew can do very little to clear their names. Luckily for them, they still have a few friends on board, and now with some Kroot on their side, can these mercenaries uncover the truth behind Magnifico's deceptions? I mean, what does a Kroot investigation even look like? Let's find out.
All right, I'm going to turn on my recording equipment here. We got to make sure we get all of the evidence. I guess I should officially meet you two. You're the Kroot investigators I'm working with, right? I'm Daniel. I know we met briefly. What are you guys' names?
I am Stabums. I'm RubRub.
Okay, Stabums and RubRub. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, how much Gothic do you know?
Some Gothic.
Okay, this
Enough.
No, not enough. Clearly not enough. I heard that. You're not going to get anything out of eating me. Okay, how about this? I have a experimental translator program that Atris is working on. And I think I'm going to activate it to try to understand what you guys are saying a little bit better. It's a little experimental, but you guys just talk normally. But I'm going to process it through my circuits to make you sound like something in low Gothic, so we can use that at the trial. Okay, no, hold on. Let me turn it on.
Well, that is good, RubRub. They've got to get the audio equipment working if we're going to present the right evidence.
I mean, Stabums, you were always more eloquent than I was.
RubRub, you give me such praise. I cannot take that from you.
This is a very experimental program that I'm just using for the first time right now. I'm reading you guys loud and clear. There's a little bit of a accent issue.
So you're sure we can't eat you? I mean, you are made of bone.
Oh my goodness, your Kroot is excellent. I can understand every word you're saying. The low Gothic, it is so difficult sometimes. Not an eloquent language.
No, it's quite cumbersome, you might say. Slow to the vocals.
Yes. You'll have to catch up, robot floating skullman.
My name is Daniel.
Danielle, it is great to meet you.
Daniel, it's a pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Why was it programmed like this? Okay. So I want to get to know you guys a little bit more now that we're going to be part of a team trying to figure out what's going on the ship. There's some sort of vast conspiracy, maybe, that's going to destroy us all.
That does not sound good, but we, RubRub and I, are #1 investigators.
Yeah, if you need muscle, someone to, turn the gears, I'm your guy.
I mean, look at these muscles. He is so big, so strong.
Whereas Stabums, he is quite eloquent. He can, do a little trick of the tongue.
Yes, my tongue, so sharp. Look at it. Whoosh. Ha ha ha! I made that with my voice. You didn't even know.
You know what? When you said you had a sharp tongue, I thought it was like a turn of phrase, but it is also literally a sharp tongue.
Yes, you catch on fast, robot man.
Yeah, I mean, you need to slice that meat in your mouth. I mean, how are you going to do it without a sharp tongue?
He is correct.
Teeth. Teeth is how you do it, normally.
We don't have teeth. We have beaks.
But do Kroot not have I don't really know a lot about Kroot biology then. I guess I'm going to learn a lot from you guys today.
Do not worry, we do not judge. You will learn so many things from us as we go on this adventure together.
It would also be bad for him to know what the inside of a Kroot mouth looks like, I would feel.
Very true, my friend.
Well, so you, RubRub, am I saying that right?
That is
RubRub?
correct, yes.
You're sort of a large, hulking brute of a Kroot.
Well, now you're just flattering me.
He rhymes as well. Brute of a Kroot, I do love it.
And in gameplay terms, that means that you have increased strength and toughness, but more difficulty when manipulating things that are not designed for a very large character.
Yes, but don't be deceived by my size, because I am one with the shadows.
He is very quick. He can blend in quite well.
That seems strange, but yes, technically nothing about the brute mutation makes you less good at stealth. So.
Well, you see, he is so big and so strong, even the light is afraid of him.
It looks away. You'd never think that light would look away, but it does for me.
Hard to look away from you, my friend. You're so glorious.
I just need to listen to you all the time, Stabums. That's why we're a duo.
Yes, the best duo in the galaxy.
Meanwhile, you Stabums. Really, your name is Stabums?
Yes, I stab at the truth and figure it out. Greater than any other Kroot.
He also just physically stabs the hell out of people.
Of course, you have to eat.
Well, I'm seeing that you're looking a little more animalistic than the other Kroot I've seen. Have you eaten some animals recently?
Well, yes, my diet,
Stabums, have you been getting into the supply again?
I like to curate a couple different foods, whip up something delicious for myself and for others.
I mean, it's not different foods. You're eating all of the same thing again, aren't you?
I've got a piece of the last thing I ate. Can you do a quick analysis, Danielle?
All right, so you're going to be a hybrid. I'll have you actually roll it. You're going to roll a die, and we're going to say which animal that you are showing signs of being.
All right, Daniel, can you run down what kind of animals Stabums could have eaten?
A horse, a tortoise, a goat, a shark, a dog, or an eagle.
Common things you'd find on any rogue trader.
The 6 most common animals, the very clear animals that you could be.
I love how none of these things are grimdark at all.
I mean, a shark, maybe.
Here we go. Rolling the d6. 5.
You have been eating dogs.
It's because of your nose. You're on the case. You sniff out all the truth.
You eat the couple of hounds. It must have been delicious, though.
So you're covered in fur. And you've got big droopy ears.
Yes.
You have paws. You had to modify your clothing a little bit to deal with these new mutations. And you get +1 speed and +2 to all awareness tests because you have very heightened senses.
Of course, in order to hunt down the prey and the truth, I must know where the enemy is.
You've been eating way too many dogs, man. I've been meaning to tell you about that.
But look at me. I'm so lithe. Look at me roll around on the floor.
I mean, it's a good thing you talk well because you are hideous.
Oh, come on. Am I not your best friend? Get it? Aha!
I don't know what that means.
I'm a dog. Yes, you know the common low-gothic phrase.
Aren't they humans' best friends?
Well, yes.
But we eat them.
Look, sometimes we dine among the humans. We dine on humans. We must, act like humans sometimes.
So you eat your best friend?
Let us not get into the details. There is justice afoot.
Sure. So I guess I am not a master investigator like you guys. I'm just a floating skull with a fire extinguisher and a translator program that I believe is malfunctioning. Where do you guys, you got the briefing on all of this. Magnifico the mule has framed Jay and Andrew. He made all of the stuff in the vault disappear. Maybe it's disappeared, maybe it's destroyed. I don't really know. And you guys need to find ways to prove that Jay and Andrew are innocent and maybe uncover the vast conspiracy, the theoretical conspiracy. There could maybe just not be a conspiracy. That was kind of an Andrew idea that is spanning this entire ship. So, yeah.
Let me ask, this conspiracy theorist, this Andrew, he's bright, yes?
He's very good with technology.
Oh, man, he can fly the ships, can he?
I don't know. honestly. He's not usually the one who does. The other one usually flies it, but he's not very good at flying them. He actually crashed it a couple of times. He was supposed to take some flight lessons, but then he got tossed in jail.
I mean, I can get it. All those controls are just so small for my hands.
Yes, you certainly can. If we come across a ship, you'll have to take control, or try to, or maybe I can. Either way, I mean, we've worked with Jay and Andrew for a brief time. Didn't really speak to them much, but they seemed fairly capable. They lived, after all.
They did give us food, after all.
Ah, yes, so many delicious foods. But anyways, we must get back to this case. So, apparently maybe a conspiracy, maybe this Magnifico man is working alone, but he must have hidden these treasures, these artifacts stolen from the vault somewhere, yes?
I mean, like, aren't all humans conspiring? I'll say that again. I mean, like, oh, god damn it. I mean, like, aren't all humans conspiring about something?
Ah, yes, they get all deep into their complex games of who is on top, who is on the bottom, who is the king, who is not, but at the end of the day, they all taste the same. But, let us...
Do humans all taste the same?
Yeah, most part. You get different flavors based on what they've eaten, but,
I mean, with the seasoning he uses, absolutely.
Ah, yes, you gotta get it just right. Mostly fresh. I eat it immediately, usually after they die.
I mean, by seasoning, I mean, like, what's inside. That's what you use.
Yes, very important. Don't start from the bottom. Start from the top, sometimes in the center, work your way out. That is the number one rule.
Quillboy always makes that mistake.
He goes for the feet every time, Quillboy. Oh, you rascal.
As fascinating as Kroot dietary information is, I was wondering what you guys... I mean, looking for the treasure, that seems like a good thing to do. We'd probably have to go to the vault to figure out what's going on with that, right?
I mean, how big is this treasure? Like, are we talking about, like, 5, 6 people, maybe?
What? People?
Yes, delicious treats you keep in a vault. You eat any time.
No, it was like gold, and it's the stuff that humans like. It's the stuff that humans like.
Well, we trade in gold and artifacts from time to time, so...
weird payment things they call thrones or something.
Yes, well, I guess we go to the vault and investigate, sniff around a little bit with his big old snout, and find some evidence.
Okay, well, let me lead you guys over there.
All right. The ship is so large, it's so interesting. All the inner workings of people to and fro. They don't seem to be bothered. Oh, yes, that person over there is bothered by us for sure. Hello over there, hello.
It's talking to me.
Hi there. We're gonna get to know each other real well.
I can't understand what they're saying. We should probably just keep going.
Ah, yes. Goodbye, human.
I will catch you later. You get that? Maybe we'll eat him.
Oh, yes, of course. He looked very tasty. Don't tell Quillboy. Now, I see this is the vault. Okay. This is very large door in front of us.
Well, it is open. There's no reason to close it right now. It's just sitting open.
I'm remarking by the large door, Danielle. That is all.
Okay. I'm just trying to make it clear we understand everything that's going on in the space, because for some reason I feel like you better understand the situation that we're in when I describe it. But you guys have eyes of your own, so I don't know why I'm feeling the need to describe all of this.
Is this how you work with Jay and Andrew? You describe these things?
Yes, I do.
Do they not have eyes, Danielle?
You know what? They seem to be very unobservant. But for now, I am going to try to describe more of what's going on, but this is more for the court records. Because we got to make sure that all of this stuff is going into the evidence. We got a whole, legal system. Don't worry about it. I know the Kroot... actually, I don't know anything about Kroot law. Do Kroot have law?
Oh, it's very rough. I mean, you get caught, you better say you did it, because if you didn't, you're probably going to get eaten.
Yes.
What? I don't know if I follow, but okay.
Very simple law. Say you did it, don't get eaten. Didn't do it, you get eaten.
You know what? I guess that does make sense. That is a very simple law.
Yes.
I admire its purity.
I mean, the flesh expresses all truth, so eventually the Shaper would know.
Yeah. So there's an empty vault over there.
Of course! I'm going to get on the floor and sniff around. Give me a moment.
Stabums, I'm going to give you space. I'm just going to walk inside.
Yes, please. And Stabums just slips down to the floor and starts scurrying about, sniffing his nose and everything.
All right, you're going to need to make a investigation check
Alrighty.
to try to find what you're looking for.
Stabums has an investigation of a 9, because he is just the best. Here we go. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 5.
Oh, pretty good. That was an exact pass for Stabums.
Okay. So Stabums, looking around here, this vault seems almost completely empty, which is wild in its own way because it's unclear how all of the treasure in here left. But as you're sniffing around and you have an ability to sort of smell things and see things outside of the normal human spectrum of seeing things, and you find in the center of the room there is some residue of what looks like an explosion or something like that. Actually, you would be able to collect a little bit of this goo that is on the floor that's not really visible to the human eye, but you could collect some of it. And I know you guys aren't bomb experts or technology experts, but maybe you could find somebody who knows a bit about it.
So yeah, Stabums goes and
Yeah.
pulls out like a little piece of like broken glass. He just keeps pockets of just glass in his pockets, you know,
Okay.
for stabbing.
He's a weird guy.
And also for evidence.
Yeah.
It's multi-purpose. And he slides the goo onto one of the pieces of glass and clamps another one over it, kind of like you would for
Yeah.
like basically putting under a microscope.
Yeah.
And slips it into his pocket. Ah, RubRub, I believe I found some evidence.
Hold on 1 second. And I reach into his bag and I grab another small piece of glass and I just throw it across the room. This place is huge, man. Like, how many people could you possibly fit in here?
Very many people, and RubRub, you are always so observant. I appreciate it. But we must find some way to analyze this goo. Danielle, do you have any sort of processor I can kind of shove this inside of you? You could give me some sort of reading?
I mean, your translator works beautifully.
You could give it to, I'm not really knowledgeable when it comes to these sort of things. We would probably need to find, I mean, you could put the chemicals into me and I'd be able to give like a chemical readout, but I won't really know what that means. We would need to find somebody on this ship who knows about these sort of things.
Is there somebody aboard this ship that Jay and Andrew typically confide in that could run some sort of analysis?
They don't really know a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have they been on this ship?
Yeah, that's kind of the issue. They're not really good at making, well, they're very insular. They're not really going out and making new friends. You'll notice how they didn't talk to you for like a year now.
Yes, I did think about that. Very strange.
They are very intimidated. I mean, it is hard to make friends with the snacks. I feel the same way.
But I suppose they do know a tech priest, Mads Roeder. No, I mean, wouldn't say that he's necessarily their friend. You could talk to him, but I don't know. Depending on what this is, he might not know about it. He's more about like ship designs or whatever. We could just start asking around the ship, I guess.
Well, they
but-
must have a science section, I assume, on this very large vessel.
Yeah, I mean, even Kroot war spheres have that science area. Don't know what they do there, but
Well, I don't want to be rude. Well, I guess this is rude for my culture, so I'm allowed to do this. Not big on science. The Imperium of Man, not huge on science. Don't even really call it science. Wrap it in religion. I'm sort of dismissive of that because that's what Atris taught me. But people on the ship, they're maybe not. I mean, they know science, but they don't call it science. They wrap it in a bunch of nonsense.
but they would actually like know what we need, maybe.
yeah, I'm sure we could start talking to some folks here and there.
Well, maybe we start with this tech priest, this Mads Roeder. Maybe he has some insight for us.
You could do that. You could talk to Mads Roeder, or if you would like, you would have to make a cunning roll to try to find somebody on this ship who would have the ability to analyze this bit of goo that you found.
Ah, cunning is just my specialty. As I said before, I am human's best friend, no? So I'm going to roll a cunning check. And Stabums, of course, has a cunning of 11.
Yeah, I guess because he's a desperado, he gets a bonus to his cunning and all that stuff. So
Indeed. So what's the difficulty?
6.
He's smarter than most, but not enough to stop eating dog.
I'll grab another die.
It would normally be 4, but it's a little bit more difficult because despite your great cunning, you're still talking to people who are not super friendly with the Kroot.
Yeah, the difficulty goes up by 2.
Yes.
Here we go. was actually still pretty good. I needed a 6, and I got a 7. So I got a 6 more than that.
All right. So you go around talking to all sorts of people on the ship, and some people have been looking at it, and they eventually recognize it as it seems to be similar to a bomb, like some sort of explosive in bombs. But there's no real other evidence of that. You eventually are led to a couple different people.
And
yeah.
Daniel, not to interrupt you, but because we're whizzing by this very quickly, I just wanted to make sure that for the records, we knew that as Stabums was going down doing this, across the ship, people could only hear, bonjour, 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 bonjour.
I mean, I try to translate for you. It's very, dear God.
Whereas RubRub just uncomfortably gets close to them and says, hello there.
I'm sorry, I couldn't let that go.
Maybe puts an arm around them. Asks how you might taste later on.
I hate this. So you eventually meet up with a guy named Matt Morwood, who is one of the soldiers working in the defense force on the ship. Oh yeah, I've seen this before. This is You ever heard of Severus Secundus?
Severus Secundus. No, I've never been myself.
I don't think I've ever been there either, though I don't think you and I have ever not been to the same area.
Very true. Tell us about it.
Well, mining planet. A lot of weird stuff. Rhombies. It was a whole thing.
Are
Rhombies.
they delicious?
I didn't eat them, but are rocks delicious?
Not particularly.
Sometimes help with digestion.
Very true.
They were human beings that came alive, but also had rocks in them, so maybe that would flavor the rocks. I don't know.
Interesting. That feels like it would be a 2-in-1 combo. You eat a human, you get the human and the rock, you get perfect digestion.
I mean, I feel like that would spoil the meat.
Possibly. But anyways, go on about this Secundus. Severus.
Yes, I used to be on that planet. I fought a bunch of monsters there, and a thing that I think your friends were involved with, the guys in prison now.
Yes, Jay and Andrew.
Yeah, those guys who stole all the treasure.
They may not have. Just thought I'd
Well,
throw
you
that
know,
in
RubRub, he is so interested in finding out whether these men are very guilty or just regular guilty. So we are curious to gather evidence and see, what could come of it.
Well, the thing is, I recognize this. This is something that the terrorists were using on the planet before the Rhombies started showing up. This is similar to the teleportation bombs that the serrated quarry was using on the planet.
Teleportation bombs, you say? So, if I understand correctly, one could explode one of these bombs and teleport what is inside somewhere else?
Yeah, when on Severus Secundus, they only moved a couple of feet, and it mostly just fused people into rock, and it was terrible. But it seems very similar to that. I don't know how you would have gotten access to this. I think most of it was destroyed. I know. Well, Jay and Andrew were on that planet, and they were investigating it. So I guess that makes sense. They probably stole some of those bombs and are using them. They were used by the serrated quarry. That was a thing that they were involved in. Yeah, that makes sense if this is what was going on.
Well, let me ask you a question. You said that they only teleported people a short distance. I've never been teleported before, but does that mean that if somebody used it on the ship, that whatever teleported would be a short distance away?
Maybe, or it might teleport into space and be lost forever.
That would be pretty terrible for our investigation. But when these things teleport, tell me, do they leave any residual evidence or genetic material when the teleportation completes?
Oh, I could probably... you mean like fingerprints or some sort of skin cells that would be part of this?
So what I'm interested in is, let's say one would teleport a delicious human from one room to another. When they show up in that second room and they leave their deliciousness everywhere, is there any sort of residual chemicals that comes with them?
So we've been talking a lot here, and I've told you quite a bit. I'm liking the way you talk, so I'm adopted a little bit of that.
You have good taste. one
Yes,
might
yes.
say.
And when I say the way you talk, I mean the way that the skull makes you sound. I think you need to do me a favor before I start telling you how you would track these sort of things.
Interesting. A favor, you say? Wow. What kind of favor, I ask? Oh, wise Matt Morwood.
So, this gun that I have now, and he pulls out just a las rifle, is the thing they gave me when I got on the ship, and it sucks. I don't like it. There's a plasma gun that I really want. But, see, it's in the Section 42 armory, and they're not letting me have it because I'm not a high enough ranking defense member. If somehow I ended up with a plasma gun, and there's like hundreds of plasma guns in there, they wouldn't notice if one was missing. If I were to get a plasma gun, for personal defense in these dangerous times, I might be able to help you understand this teleportation explosion a little bit more.
Very interesting, Matt. One moment. RubRub, let us encircle together.
Oh, we called it a huddle. Encircle, that works too.
I mean, you encircle your prey, so that makes a lot more sense.
Of course. Why would you say huddle? What does that even mean?
Huddling together seems very pathetic. Yeah, you wouldn't want to huddle.
That's what cowards do, might say.
Indeed, you must encircle your prey, much like we must encircle this challenge before us. Now, this Matt clearly has a bit of information we might need, but asking us to do some particular tasks. There are two ways we could go about this, obviously. RubRub, what do you think?
I mean, we could just eat him and then, move to somebody else.
I was thinking that as well.
Is this what you talk about in circles?
Well, yes. Well, what we eat, when we eat, who we eat.
Encircle prey. I mean, it makes all the sense.
It's kind of what we said before, but I guess also...
Try to keep up, Daniel.
Here's the question. Do we maybe try to intimidate the boy and then eat him afterwards?
I mean, I could certainly intimidate him. Find out what he wants this plasma gun for.
I believe he probably is going to use it for some sort of, maybe it's defense, like he said. Maybe he wants to kill somebody. I don't think it's going to be us, so not necessarily our problem.
So
who cares what he's used the gun for? Let's just find out about, his evidence.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking as well. Going into this security place, a lot of areas for opportunity to be discovered or shot, and, I don't really want to do that for this particular mission we're on.
So you want, let me just be clear there, Stabums. You want me to intimidate him into just giving it to us, or intimidate him into making sure he gives it to us on return?
When you say on return, what do you mean by that?
Meaning, if we go and get the plasma gun, or are we just not doing that?
I'm saying we might not necessarily do that at all. Let's just scare the crap out of him, get the information, maybe eat him, and move on.
That works for me just fine.
All right, I leave it to you, RubRub.
It is, I should note, I know you guys have eaten people occasionally on the crew. That is part of the contract that everybody needs to sign. Once the Kroot mercenaries came on board, they are allowed to eat a certain number of crew members on the crew, and the crew have to deal with that. It's not a great way to win friends on the crew, but you are allowed to eat people.
Now, yes, I do remember from reviewing the contract, it was certain sub-level of crew members. We cannot eat the elite or...
oh, yes, of course.
This Jay and Andrew, for apparently they hold high positions, I understand. But...
it's pretty much anybody except the people on the command council.
Yes, a very large menu, I must say.
Not going to get this plasma gun is fine with me, because it feels a whole lot like playing with your food, if you know what I'm saying.
Always eloquent as ever, RubRub. So I leave this to you.
So I walk up to him and my presence is very intimidating.
I mean, you're very big already.
I'm Kroot are big to begin with, but I'm a much larger Kroot.
Yeah.
And I brace my arm against the wall behind him and look straight down on him. You're assuming an awful lot from us, where in reality, you're just on the menu, if you know what I mean.
If you eat me, I can't tell you anything.
Yeah, but you'll still be dead and delicious.
And also, I might interject. Tell me, Matt, how much do you know about the Kroot way of eating and absorbing material?
We could call our friend Quillboy over, and he starts with the feet, if you know what I'm
That's
saying.
very true. But listen, Matt, What I'm saying is, when we eat something, there is always a chance that we can procure some information from someone. And I must tell you, Matt, that I am willing to take that chance. And I believe Quillboy has not eaten today. Is that correct, RubRub?
I do not believe so. You did eat all the dogs.
And last time I checked, when we do this, we typically do absorb about 80% of the chance, most of the information, correct?
I mean, that's just us. We could bring some to the Shaper, and he'll be sure to get the truth.
Oh, while he's still alive, of course, but just the top. As we said, Quillboy will eat most of the bottom.
Don't need arms and legs to stay alive.
That's very true. This is a deception, because Kroot definitely don't just absorb memories when they eat stuff.
I also have to roll intimidation, I guess?
Yeah, let's have you roll a deception to give him a bonus to his intimidation. Yeah, that is not how Kroot works.
That's not how Kroot works. But Matt might not know this.
Yeah.
So, what's my difficulty?
Difficulty 4. He doesn't know a lot about
Know a lot about Kroot?
Yeah.
What a surprise. Oh, it's looking good so far. You son of a bitch. Well, I passed. Exceptionally so. But I did roll a 1 on my wrath die.
Okay, here's what's going to happen. He is more intimidated now, so you're going to get a bonus on your roll, but he is not going to stay silent about this. He has friends, and they will come get vengeance for him, whether he gets eaten now or is just intimidated by you. He has friends in important places, or at least well-armed places, that are going to be an issue for you in the future.
You know, this is fine with me. Dinner now, snacks later.
Yes. So, Matt, what is your decision? Shall we call our friend Quillboy?
So here's my intimidation check.
Difficulty 6.
Don't tell me you rolled a 1.
So he gives me a +1, or how?
He gives you +2. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you that.
He gives me
you
+2?
Yeah.
All right, well then I passed.
Okay. Did you roll the extra 2 dice?
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, you roll more dice. You don't just get 2 successes.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay, that was a perfect roll. I can, in fact, push a 6 now.
Okay. Let's not. I like my feet. I don't want my feet to get eaten. Let's be cool with this here. Here, let me upload something into your skull. You'll be able to scan for anybody who recently was exposed to this residue. It should be able to. It'll be a scan, and if you use this sort of thing, it'll make them glow purple. Anybody who's used it. It's kind of very difficult to wash off because it's like warp particles, dark Eldari based. Actually, I don't really know, but at least they linger for about a month. So.
All right, and I get really close to him. I'm glad we can see eye to eye.
Yeah. I'll have you know, I'm not. Never mind. It's fine.
Oh, no, Matt. You have given us such wonderful information to our friend Danielle here. Tell us, what were you going to say?
I have friends. That's all I was going to say.
Matt, I must tell you that really warms my heart that you have friends out there on this ship. They must be very close to you, just like I am close with RubRub.
Sure, yeah. I've actually never talked to a Kroot before. It's very interesting. It's also very weird to talk to a Kroot through this skull. This has been an enlightening experience. Thank you for giving me a chance to use my expertise.
Well, we thank you very much, Matt. And I must tell you, it is very rare to speak with, as you say, Kroot. You know, there are only 2 typical situations we encounter and speak with humans. It is when we are investigating for the truth to get to the bottom of this travesty. And the other time, Matt, I must tell you, is when we are close. Very close to you and your friends. And we are hungry, Matt. Do you get what I'm saying?
Totally.
Excellent, Matt. It has been wonderful speaking with you. We are going now. Thank you very much.
And as we walk away, I just turn back and say, catch you later.
Yeah. That was impressive. That was pretty good.
Thank you very much, Danielle. That is our tag team duo. I do a little wordsmithing, and he uses these beautiful, glorious muscles he has.
Okay, well, I guess that seems like a big deal. We figured out who used the teleport bomb and where we don't know where the treasure went, but we know how it was wented. And we might be able to, if we could find somebody who used it, we might be able to, get evidence that they used it. Like, they'll just start glowing purple when I scan them.
I don't know what that word means, Wented, but yes, we will find the truth.
The translator must be messing up for us, RubRub. But yes, we must use this detection device you have now on you, Danielle. Maybe activate it and we sweep this ship a little bit. Does that sound good?
Yeah, we could totally do that.
All right, Danielle. How do we activate this? Maybe it's one of these buttons?
No, wait, that's the record.
Oh, hello there. It is I, the Imperial Scribe, just jumping in here to remind you of our Patreon. You see, it's been well over a year since we've kicked it off, and with a new bonus adventure releasing every month, the Patreon is currently packed with over 12 hours of audio content, plus outtakes and GM notes from our favorite Servo Skull. So, if you'd like to hear bonus misadventures of the boys, follow Kevin Kevinson on an exciting new adventure, or even catch what I assume is the first ever Grimdark Battle of the Bands, head on over to Patreon and check it out. Now with that out of the way, I'll switch you back to Daniel. Here we go.
Alright, I think I pressed the right button here, Daniel.
Yes, are we coming in clearly, Danielle?
I like pushing your buttons.
Oh, goodness. That is... Ooh, I'd pull my collar to the side if I had a collar. Okay, yes, I'm doing great. You've pushed my buttons, RubRub. By the way, I'm calling you RubRub and Stabums. I know that's what Jay and Andrew call you. I don't know what your actual, Kroot names are.
Are you telling me that when we speak to one another and I say RubRub and I say Stabums, they are coming in as different?
Yeah, I'm putting, because there's just no way to actually translate your Kroot names. But don't worry about it. Just for the evidence, know that they're going to still refer to you as RubRub and Stabums.
Very strange.
Yeah, everything about this translation program makes very little sense.
You know, actually, RubRub is pretty right on the money.
Ha RubRub, you are so right. But now that we have got Danielle working again, I'm going to see if we can use this new turned-on technology to skulk around this ship and hunt for the evidence we seek. I roll my cunning now. Okay, so...
I didn't even give you a difficulty, but difficulty... Look, I see that roll. You're probably good. No.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty's 5. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, I more than hit a 5, and one of those successes is a 6 on my wrath die, so coming back around. Matt Morwood dies choking on an olive. Is that what happens?
No.
He gives his friends such a positive review about Stabums and RubRub.
Of course.
We've gained more friends.
I don't think that guy's your friend, dog.
Yeah, probably not. But I did get a 6
And when I
on my
say
wrath
dog,
die.
I mean you, because you are a dog.
That is correct, Danielle. But
it's a pun in Gothic. I know it doesn't quite sound like that.
I was a bit confused, but you seemed so excited about it. I didn't want to interrupt. But
You had such a good flow going on.
Thanks. But yes, we'll figure out something to do with that 6. We can hold on to it. I think I have an idea, but so you're going around the ship and you're looking and you're trying to find anybody who would just be glowing purple as I'm shining like an infrared light that nobody can really see, but it's just, and I'm just shining over people and they just look normal until I eventually shine it on the right person.
And I would suggest for the 6 is that whoever this person shines on somehow drops a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And it falls down a couple stairs into a dark alley somewhere. And they're like, oh man, I gotta go down and get the stuff I just dropped in this dark alley with nobody around. That's the 6 that I want to use.
Sort of.
Okay. I like a halfway use of my 6 on my die.
No. I think it...
The goal of my 6, however it translates, is that I want RubRub and I to get a drop on this person.
You will get a drop on this person. You see there's one just crewman. You can't even really tell what division he's working. He just looks like another one of the guys who works in the just the bowels of the ship doing something.
Smelting, turning knobs,
Yeah.
cranking things with large wrenches.
Yeah, grimdark stuff.
Of course.
Yeah. And he is walking with a box, and he's going down a couple of stairs when we shine the light on him, and he starts glowing weird purple. We've got our guy. He doesn't see it though. We're good. As he's walking down the stairs, as you mentioned, he drops his box. And he actually is looking underneath the stairwell. He actually was going underneath the stairwell anyway, but he drops the box. So instead of whatever he was going to do underneath the stairwell, he's now distracted with whatever was in his box that's on the floor.
Even though it wouldn't have helped us, I was half hoping he drops the box and a bomb falls out of it and he teleports himself out to space. Shit!
That would be a hell of a 6. And also,
that feels more like a 1.
I guess that would eliminate your evidence, yes.
Does what falls out of his box, is it like a letter from the person that set him up with this duty with a signature and a picture of him giving him the box?
No, it's a bunch of weapons, though.
What kind of weapons?
They look like they're the weapons that are used by the guards, but this is not an official-looking guard box, and this is not a guard. These are bolt weapons, las weapons, pretty heavy-duty stuff.
So I think RubRub and I are like in the shadows above on the stairwell, like watching him.
RubRub, this is the time we make our presence known.
Should we stealth up on him first?
Yes, the classic sandwich move, you think?
Yeah, let's do that. I love sandwiches.
The best.
So I'm gonna roll a stealth check. And my ability from Commando is I give a plus my rank to stealth bonus for all Kroot allies within 15 meters. So when you do your stealth check, you get a +2.
That is good. Very good.
RubRub is a lot stealthier than you are, Stabums.
Well, as we know, the light is afraid of him.
All right, here we go. Stealth check. What do I need to succeed?
This guy's perception is a 4.
I pass, and I can push a 6.
All right.
Excellent.
Stabums is going to roll. Well, he passes. But Stabums was having a little too much fun and flair with the old sandwich maneuver that him and RubRub do so often. And he rolled a 1 on his breath time. I can only roll those 2 things.
Okay. A lot of... Because we got a 6 on the wrath die over here. We got a 1 on a wrath die over there. Let's figure out how we do this.
Oh, he didn't have a 6 on his wrath die.
No,
he just
I was
pushed
just
his
able to
all
push
you
a
did was
6.
push a 6.
I was able to
That's
push a 6.
nothing.
Ow.
No, you're
Damn,
good.
Daniel.
So you have totally snuck up on this guy. He's leaning down, going through the weapons. We'll talk later about what the one did. You'll see what it did very soon.
Sounds wonderful.
Yes. But you're good for now. And this guy is going through some stuff right here.
Hello there.
Ah! Hi.
What you got in that box there?
Supplies. You wouldn't. It's a human thing. You wouldn't understand.
Certainly
Are
looks
you
like...
talking through the skull?
That's right, and it certainly looks like guns to me.
Yes, it certainly does look like guns, as he said. Why are you carrying these guns around, we might ask?
It's a scary ship. There's a lot of bad stuff going on right now. I'm just trying to make sure me and my friends are well defended. I don't have to tell you. I don't tell you shit.
Of course you don't. You don't have to tell us anything. We are just 2 Kroot standing here with you in the darkness with no one around at all. You have to tell us nothing. But I do have a question for you, small human man. You see, you have this particular scent on you. This scent of science, I might say. Science of a very diabolical kind. You see, we know that you are dabbling in the, dare I say, teleportation arcs, as we have heard.
No.
Come on. You know you have. I see it on your face. Now, listen. We have 2 options here. My friend here, he can rough you around and get the answers the good old-fashioned way, eating you. Or you can share us a wonderful story about how you've gotten involved with this dark teleportation arts.
You do give off a beautiful bouquet.
I don't know what that means, but I will have you know that I am not easily intimidated. I have power. You don't know what you're messing with, okay? You two should just walk away before you get involved in something you're not going to be able to deal with.
From the legs up, stab him.
Ah, yes, probably eat him from the leg up.
All right, I'm going to roll an intimidation check.
Before you do that, he reaches back and taps on the wall in a specific sequence, and the wall slides away.
Does he try to slip into said hiding spot?
Well, no, because on the other side of the wall, it opens up into a room where there are several armed people that are already waiting in the room. I'm not alone.
Ah, so it is.
And as I look into the room, there are 6 armed men in there, men and women, humans. Let's say 6 armed humans.
Thank you, Danielle. I was very confused.
They have 2 arms, but there are 6 of them with weapons. I'm just trying to make sure this is all clear for the tape.
Real clear, Daniel. Thank you.
The other thing is there are 2 people tied to chairs in there. And it's, I don't know if you guys know these guys, but those are the guy brushes are tied to a chair inside this secret compartment.
Guybrush, I do not remember those names.
I mean, I think they mentioned them like once, maybe.
You believe they are, Danielle, they are friends of Jay and Andrew?
Yeah, they're friends with Jay and Andrew. They were also investigating this case.
Ah, fellow investigators, in peril, I see.
Should we just, kill them all and maybe eat them?
Ah, RubRub, it seems dinner is on early tonight.
So since I haven't been able to use my 6 yet, I kind of just want to say something and then immediately attack this guy.
Yeah, you snuck up on him already. You already got the drop on him. He noticed you a little bit and got his friends involved because he rolled a 1 on the... He happened to be in an alley where he had friends because he rolled a 1 on the wrath die.
Yeah,
but,
darn.
yeah. You'd just be able to munch this guy if that wasn't the case, but,
Here we go, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, dinner is served. And I immediately just, bite this guy's head off.
You know what? Sure. This guy isn't one of the fighters. This guy's just a chump.
He's a gun carrier.
Yeah, he's the gun carrier, the bomb setter-upper. He's an idiot.
After RubRub basically rips off this guy's head, and I assume these people are a bit aghast by this.
Yeah. They weren't expecting this.
Stabums is going to do a little bit of a bow and pantomime his hands out in front of him as if to invite them forward and say, as we say, be our guest.
Thanks for listening to this grimdark tale. It appears that RubRub and Stabums have hit a snag in their investigation, or possibly a snack. Can they put the pieces together in time to solve this mystery? Tune in next time to find out. Special thanks to Daniel Fernandez for inserting his soul into a servo skull and helping these 2 as game master. And if you've enjoyed this episode, why not leave us a rating and review on iTunes? It would be most appreciated. Our theme song was composed by Kyle Fryer. You can check out his music on SoundCloud. You can check out other similar podcasts on partialarc.com, such as Roll to Seize, a podcast all about the wargame Warhammer 40k and its universe. You can tune into Roll to Seize every final Wednesday of the month. And if you're looking for another actual play podcast with plenty of humor and adventure, check out Friday Night Quests, a podcast much like Wrath and Story, but set in the fantastical and equally hilarious world of Dungeons & Dragons. There you may recognize the familiar voice of Jay Jones, and occasionally you'll hear Andrew and Daniel drop by the show as well, along with many more ridiculous and wonderful characters. Definitely check it out. Of course, you can always follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr, all at Partial Arc. And if you have any questions for Daniel and the boys, send them an email at wrathandstory@gmail.com. That's with the "and" spelled out. We may even answer them on one of our next episodes, so stay tuned. Until next time, goodbye.